few days left now for political parties in the country to come together and agree on coalition deals to govern about dozens, really, of municipalities that did not produce an outright winner in the elections this month. We're seeing a fallout that's now emerging between the DA, at least in Johannesburg, where parties have agreed to support the party's candidate to lead in Tshwane SA. They would like to see Herman Mashaba from Action SA put forward to be mayor of Johannesburg. The DA is not on board with that. It's in fact released a statement today saying on Monday, when council sits, it will nominate its electoral mayoral candidate. That was Dr. Mpopalazi. Let's get the reaction of one of the other parties involved in this story. The UDM's leader, Bantu Holomisa, is joining us tonight. General, grateful for your time tonight. So what is your reaction? What is the position of the UDM as we sit tonight trying to figure out the way forward in Johannesburg for this coalition?
Well, the latest development shows that the DA has not changed its stance of not wanting to support Mr. Mashaba as the mayor of Johannesburg, as agreed by the majority parties in the meeting we had yesterday. That is their right. But there's nothing stopping Mashaba either not raising his hand on the day and let the councillors have the last say through secret balloting. So we should just not stress about this. Let it go its way. If Mashaba loses, or the DA councillor loses, so be it. Then there's nothing we can do because the DA doesn't want to budge. But that decision by them might influence the issue of Tshwane, which we had already said it must go to the DA, and that Johannesburg must go to Mashaba. So unless the funders of Mashaba's party and DA, that is the Oppenheimers at Girl Daughters, invite them for dinner tonight or coffee tomorrow and say, please, can you work together?
So, General, I don't want to laugh because this is all quite serious. But you tweeted when Herman Mashaba released the statement from your group of parties about this disagreement around the running of Johannesburg. You said they risk losing Tshwane. Do you see the coalition negotiations with the DA around Tshwane and Johannesburg as a package deal or separately?
As a result of the behavior of the DA, I think this coalition talks are off as far as I'm concerned. I don't see DA changing its stance. In fact, if you listen to the leader of the DA, you get an impression that when he says they will support a party which got most votes, so it tells you that they are even prepared to vote for the ANC. Which, of course, that was my early suggestion right at the beginning after the results were announced, to say, why ANC and DA don't form a grand coalition and have a stable government and deliver services?
So, as things stand, will the UDM still vote with the DA in council in Tshwane next week?
No, so we will discuss that tomorrow. So far, we're still waiting for the DA to communicate with us formally, not through the media. But if that is how they are going to work in future, it might pose some problems in certain areas. But we will wait. Ball is in their court.
But as things stand, Herman Mashaba not coming out as the candidate, the joint candidate for mayor of Johannesburg, is not a deal breaker for you?
Mashaba is our candidate we have chosen, the majority. You see here, DA might say it has got 71 seats, But those 71 seats means nothing because they can't form a government. But if they work with other parties, and when we take decisions, we don't want this big brother mentality. We take decisions as leaders. We have reasons why we said Mr. Mashaba must take Johannesburg, why they must continue in Pretoria. So in Tshwane rather. So if they don't want to accept the majority decision, we don't have veto powers here when we negotiate. They might as well go away. Who cares?
Just on that then, General, because the DA, in terms of overall electoral support, votes in the ballot, did get the largest number of voters, right? Why shouldn't their candidate become mayor and perhaps people from Action SA, the UDM, the ACDP become members of the executive committee?
Well, we have a track record about the leader of Mr. Mashaba. During his time, we feel that he betted well, and he was accepted by the citizens of Johannesburg across the board. Even if you look at the breakdown of demographics of the results of the elections, it will tell you that the townships, Soweto, even to Sandton, is an acceptable candidate. So I don't know this nonsense about numbers, where people are just boasting about numbers. If they have numbers, they must go and run the Gauteng, Johannesburg.
General Bantu Holomisa, leader of the UDM, good to speak to you tonight, sir. Thank you for your time.